Well, I think I've done it. I decided to come out back. I'm doing like a combination video, audio, podcast, pod. See, I can't even, you sit there and you put me on video and I can't do anything. That means smooth. Who cares? Like I said, I don't think anybody does it for the visual. That's a scary visual. So here I am. I'm sitting on the back porch. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I've been up since 2. That seems to be my new time. I get up, I'm wide awake. I go back to sleep. I get up at 6, I'm wide awake. I didn't rest enough when I came back home on Thursday, and I know that. Unfortunately, my husband has gotten used to coming home and doing absolutely nothing because, well, he didn't want to keep me to where I wasn't, uh, you know, I was alone all the time. My son would be at school. My husband would be at work. I'd be stuck in the bed. So how in the world could he keep me company and go out and work in the yard when he came home? So he would sit at the side of the bed. We got a chair and everything. And why he removed the massager thing, I'll never know because all you had to do was just not cut it on. But I'm trying to find that part. It's driving me nuts. Not being the caretaker of my home, I had to go down into the pantry. I was throwing away things from 2021 that had expired. Little things like that. Things that you do when you stay at home all the time. And I mean, you do it in regular life too. It just makes no sense what I'm saying. But I valued, working from home, doing voiceover work, and then being able to go into my pantry and organize it and clean it and have dinner ready and go outside and sweep the curb and make it look presentable for when people drove by and then cleaning the gutters. I mean, I just was constantly doing something. And when I came home on Thursday, I knew, like right now, I need to have my neck collar on because I just took a 30-minute hot shower. As I started getting sick, I was starting to get dizzy. And I'm like, why is this happening? I'm like, oh yeah, because of all the stuff that makes you ill. You've got POTS, but let's try to outrun it. So just get in that shower and get it done. So I love sitting on the back porch, especially when it's been raining and it's off and on right now. And ooh, the AC just went off. Like I don't, ooh, Lord, you can see me. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you shouldn't be able to really, I guess. See the crepe myrtle tree. Oh gosh, I did like that and it's me closer. But there's the crepe myrtle tree. I don't even think you can see it. But you see, I like to just come out back when I can. Doesn't matter what time it is because I was stuck in bed for so long. We're in the process of putting like little lights up here. My husband wants to do, and then this little cheesecloth thing that he's putting down. He's got the vision. I have my requirements. Just, I start too many things, and I'm always, usually never saying no. And I realize because I have enough people say no to interviews and stuff with me, and their reasoning is like they're they're autistic. They have an issue with being autistic and doing that's one of the excuses I've been given, but it's not an excuse. I mean, it's a real thing, uh, and I understand it because if I could start to say no with some things and little things like that, I could get my priorities straight. Because see, I haven't quite figured out how to manage this illness with my new abilities. And when I say my new abilities, meaning my lack of abilities. You see, when I came home on Thursday, I knew my husband, we were home at 11:30. Both made it home at the same time, and my son wasn't going to be home. And you're thinking, ooh, wow, hit the bedroom and you can have a marathon of just getting to know each other. Well, that's not the first thing that comes to our minds. The first thing is, what can I clean? What can I do? Oh, maybe I shouldn't be. I mean, oh gosh, I do look like I've been up. But I came home, I had my neck collar on because my body, as I believe all of us, I really do. I really think that we have sticky fascia, that there's a reason why our connective tissue becomes an issue for us, and it's sticky, and it just starts wadding up and creates that knot that's in our body, right? That we feel, that fascial adhesion, that's really just what we've been calling a knot. It's like when you get a frog in your muscle and you can feel it. It's fascia. When we took Wyland in, they thought, he had tore some tendons and stuff. There was some small tears, but when the doctor was looking at it, he's like, yeah, your mom can work on it with the fascia tool. And I was like, okay. Oh gosh, I can't even look at myself. I look so out of it. Yeah, why in the world do people need video? Trust me, you don't. So sit, see, I'm trying to pull the stool and I can't. That's the thing that I'm having to learn. I can't do things the way I used to. So I tried putting I was lying in the bed and I reached for his blanket and I tried to pull it up just on the side of my body the way I used to do it. And I felt something in my arm and I went, oh yeah, I can't do that anymore. I've got to physically get up and pick it up with both hands and ever so gently put it down because things can pop out of my body. So when I realized that my husband didn't know what to do with himself because I was up and he wanted to go out and do things, but he knew I had to do paperwork and I couldn't get him started doing anything. He's not used to me being up. So I finally just said, screw it. Let's do it. Let's, I've got weeds I can pull in my driveway and I'll just sit down at an angle and just slowly work my way back up the hill, pulling weeds out of my driveway. He went out and started working on uh, the limb that fell out of the tree. $1,800, 200 and some for the backyard, $2,100, and limbs are still falling out of the tree. I guess they just couldn't get that high. Perhaps they were that high, and that's why it didn't get to, I don't know. But my body has been going ever since Thursday, getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning and continuing my day, sleeping throughout here and there. And I'm sleeping without help. I'm not taking anything. I just lie down in the bed, and the next thing you know, I fall asleep. My body is actually tired. I am eating. And when I eat, right now I'm kind of getting a cramping because I did break a cardinal sin, I guess. And I didn't get a Coke. I got a ginger ale. Mm. I was thinking of something with flavor, a little bit of flavor. And I think I've got a UTI that the hospital sent me home with. I guess it wasn't life threatening. But when they did this to me last February, and then I went back 2 months later, the urinary tract infection that they sent me home with in February had gotten a lot worse come April. No, March. It was come March, yes. Come March, it had gotten a lot worse. So I'm trying to be proactive, and I caught the lab results this go around. And I called my GYN. I would say my OB, but I don't need that anymore. Yeah, you OB, not for me. So no more OB for me. Yeah, you know me. So those are only for Naughty by Nature fans. There's those comments. But I was up until from 7:10 Thursday morning until well after 10 o'clock Thursday night. Friday, got up like clockwork at 2 o'clock, went back to sleep. I was up at 6 o'clock, 5:30, up, no problem, stayed up the whole time. And then I had IMT. The integrated manual therapy along with the NUCA, it's kind of like the icing on the cake for me at this point in time. I believe that I need fascial counterstrain on Thursday. I've been questioning, do I go to Maryland? Do I go? That's another, it's $330. But I had told myself that this would be probably the last time. Why? Because I have no inflammation markers. I've never had an inflammation marker. Even when the doctor gave me 5 steroid infusions, I never had inflammation markers. Up until this year when I drastically needed prednisone, I was given prednisone at every ER appointment or at every ER visit, every doctor's appointment. They were constantly giving me more prednisone, more oral prednisone. That's what you need. That's what you need. Oral prednisone, oral prednisone. And then 5 steroid infusions. And now no more steroids for mama. So I do not do those. Takes my abilities away. So nobody wants to give it to me now. Not even a cream when you have poison ivy. And I still have remnants of it. It's still happening. It still is happening to where it's like I put my jewelry on and then I have to take it back off because I don't want to anyway, that's a whole other story. But I didn't rest on Thursday, but I felt good. Didn't really rest on Friday, but I felt good. Saturday I rested, but it wasn't willingly. I was walking around and every time I get up, I'm hungry. I've been eating around the clock. Dr. Packer put my neck back in on Tuesday. I immediately felt that my body needed to poop. Just maybe it's TMI. I know I've said it before, but still. So I felt better. Then by Thursday, he did it again. I have been going like clockwork now. Something that I'm not used to for 2 days. I eat a little bit and I have to eat a little bit. And then I get full, whether it's vegetables, almonds, I take a break. And then I go sit down. I end up going back to sleep and then I get right back up. And then next thing you want, me at least, is food. And I'm getting more food. And I get up, I'm eating broccoli. I'm getting up, I'm eating this. I did allow myself a guilty pleasure. Cowtails, they are my favorite candy. It's like the only candy I eat because I can't do peanut butter cups anymore. And cowtails are my favorite. And they're from like Getz Candy, Goetze. And then you can get those caramel with the white centers. I've never liked those growing up, but now they just are a pleasure burst in my mouth. And I absolutely love it. And so cowtails you can get real cheap on Amazon, and you can buy a box for like $10. And it's really, really good. And I have some in my pantry that I found because I went downstairs and started throwing out everything from 2021. And I was like, I have cowtails. So I'm going to use those cowtails one bite at a time. It's a long little tail. Absolutely love them. And I'll sit right there and eat that candy. But I'm not supposed to have processed foods. I'm not supposed to have sugars. And right now, my belly feels a little poochy because it's like being caught up now. It's starting to. I eat and then I poop. I eat and then I poop, and that is not like me. I was lucky if I went every 3 days, once a week. Now to go 2 and 3 times in a day effortlessly is a shocker to me. The fact that I am up considering where I was this time last Sunday is a shocker to me. It is a combination, fascial counterstrain. I plan on doing that. For some reason, I can still feel some tension that's happening in my face. And I believe IMT can help that. But fascial counterstrain is the only other modality that has affected me deeper than fascial remodeling. I mean, that's how my ribs got moved out. That's when my body transformed. And when that was done, I realized this was a place I need to stay. And the rest is in my faith. I can feel it. I can feel when I'm not sitting properly. I can start to immediately feel tensions pulling in my jaw. And that's where Mr. Herring got a lot out right here in my jaw area, in my tongue. My tongue had a lot of stress on it. My neck. And I believe that there are some deep adhesions that I need I need help to get those out because they are just it's something that I have experienced through fascial counterstrain. When he squeezed my head, I felt for the first time that somebody truly got. I mean, he was squeezing my head like a pimple. I did think it was going to pop. And who knows what would have happened, but it felt really good. The thing is, everything's been going to my tailbone, and he was working on that. It takes like 6 weeks over time for the fascial counterstrain to kind of like build up and come to its magical where it's going to work, because it's not an instant thing. IMT for me is instant. NUCA for me is instant. Fascial remodeling, instant. Fascial counterstrain, you've got to go about six. It gets worse, and then you're thinking this is horrible, just like fascial remodeling, and then it's all of a sudden gone, and you're like, what did I go up there for? What was my problem? So that is where I'm struggling, because these appointments are hard to come by, and this is with the creator of fascial counterstrain. How could I not do it? It just feels like this is coming to it just feels like I'm getting to the point, because I have no inflammation markers, nothing in my body swells, not even my big head. So because of that, if I don't damage my fascia by doing something that I shouldn't do or having an accident, I mean, how I fell that one day and didn't break anything is beyond me. But hey, the fact that I don't need steroids, the fact that everything has been managed with me now through non-invasive modalities, I just need to get to the point that I no longer have to see fascial counterstrain on a regular basis. I believe with IMT, NUCA, and working on my fascia myself, I believe I believe that that is going to keep me where I need to be. And I find that I'm turning to the right a little bit. It's like I go this way. See, that means I have to look into the camera. So if you're there and you're watching, thank you. A whole another reason why I like to do audio, because then I'm not looking like, where do I have to look? And are they seeing my long nose? But I'm not worried about it anymore, because my nose was broken and I got it fixed. And I'm happy, and I could care less what anybody thinks. The only thing I care about is what my husband thinks and what my son thinks and the people that are my close friends. And I want you to maybe take me seriously every now and then, in hopes that I can help you, because I would love to be an advocate and help someone, because there was no one to help me. And that has become my passion. That is what's getting me out of bed. Yes, I want truthfully, it's, I want my son knowing that I've been up. When I picked him up on Thursday, I said, I did a Target curbside, I did the driveway. He's like, Mom, I don't want to know everything you've done. I want you resting, because I want you there. And so he just thinks I need resting. And I do when I come home from these. I don't need to be out pulling weeds, but my family has been teetering without me. I'd like to say I was the rudder that kept this family together or the glue, but hey, find out that's not true. But maybe in my mind, I am what holds us together. And so me getting up and doing things gets my husband motivated, lets my son know that he shouldn't be scared if he's asking me to come pick him up. I am his mother. You know, he shouldn't be worried about me getting my rest. Worried, I mean, I'm grateful, but meaning that I want him being a kid. I don't want him worried about his mother the whole time. I just don't. I'm grateful though. Grateful for my family, grateful for my support group, grateful for you. And I appreciate you being here. No inflammation markers means no prednisone for me, no steroid infusions. It means a non-invasive modality. And that's what's going to keep me up and keep me going. A non-invasive modality is also what helps to put me down. But my tailbone, that SI joint that I told you in hopes by telling you I could go down and document this, that after hopefully a few weeks or a few days, the tailbone pain would stop. And guess what? Just like the neuropathy pain, after having my tailbone moved into place, it has been about 10 days, and I now feel normal. When I'm sitting down, I can feel my sit bones. I no longer feel my tailbone. It feels like sit bone, and tailbone's up in the middle. It's like my sit bones, my cheeks are covering my tailbone. My tailbone is for the first time protected since 47 years. I broke it at 7 and it just kept tilting in. So now it's out. I'm straighter than I have ever been. I am holding my posture better than I have. My neck is just now, it was back into place. And then the little touch of moving my tailbone back in put me into severe spasms. So we're not doing anything else on my spine unless it's through NUCA. And I am very careful with, just like the people that I keep around me, I am very tight with the practitioners that I keep around me. And I keep a very small circle, but I try to keep a lot of people with knowledge around me so that I can always get help if need be. You need to fight and figure out everything you can. And if somebody's making you feel less than, or somebody is telling you you can't do it, just know that maybe you can. Why did they have to be right? Just because you've been bedridden already for a year, why can't you be the one that gets up? You've been in pain for years, but you found a way to work on yourself and now you're no longer in pain. Why shouldn't you be able to share it? That's what we do at AWOL Zebra. AWOL is a way of life. It has become my way of life. You can email me, awolzebra@gmail.com. I am still taking emails for those that want to be able to possibly win something. Who knows what it could be? But the website's coming, and I hope you're a part of it. And I thank you for being a part of my day to day. We do have interviews coming up. We're just all getting coordinated. I thank you for being here. It means a lot. I guess I'm going to go inside and have something to eat and go back to sleep. Christy Lynn Hanchy, AWOL Zebra. Have a lovely day.